Okay, hey Storytel users, I am here with Ryan, and I'm gonna pop over to your April 24th feedback. Please highlight to summarize where you were doing some initial mocks of this, and then we had feedback from Flavio, from Tim, from Shelly, from Pierre about this. Ryan is back with another demo. So show us what you got, Ryan.
All right, yeah, thanks, Jordio. This is the Storytile page, and this is where you can actually chat with individual Storytiles. So you can see we have our chat here on the left. We're still working on this, so don't worry about what Storytile is actually saying in the chat right now. We'll fix that soon. Wanted to show something here on the right. This is the content of the Storytile, including the title, the executive summary, and then the original source content. Looks like this tile is generated from an Amazon 10K PDF. So for this tile, you can see there's a couple lines here. And something that people have been asking for is being able to highlight individual lines from the original source content that they're searching for. So we got this working. I'm going to copy this right here. And I'm going to add the text that I'm looking for into this query param in the URL like this. And then if I scroll down, I'll see that the actual text that I searched for is highlighted in the original source. So we wouldn't make our users actually, put the text they're looking for into the URL. It'll probably be a link or something like that, but it'll make it a lot easier to point them directly to the content from the original source that they're looking for.
And this is great to see. And can you talk a little bit more, Ryan, about like how do you imagine that I am searching for it? So like, am I doing it in the chat? Do you imagine a search box? Like, how am I trying to find that original content, or like, how do I end up here?
Yeah, so I think once you end up on this Storytile page, you might be searching for an individual line or maybe like a date or something like that. And I could definitely see you entering it in the chat, like highlights the original source content that talks about December 31st, 2020. This doesn't look that difficult to find it, but if you can imagine, there would be 400 or 500 lines of original source content, that would make up a much bigger Storytile. It would be really easy to just enter it in the chat and then have Storytile find it for you. And then we'd be able to manipulate the URL up here, and then it would highlight on the page on your right. And then, I would assume it would scroll down to the actual place on the page where it shows up as well.
Another idea here, as we think about this, like accordion style inspecting content down to the source, the ground truth data, in our full report, we are listing footnotes for Storytiles. So like here's a summary and it comes from 5 Storytiles. Great, awesome. Thank you, Ryan, for showing it. That's perfect, right? So we already do this footnoting, which users have just reacted really positively to. And so like, what if we also have in a specific Storytile footnotes for the source content as well? So like, Ryan, if you go to go back to your mock for a second, right? Okay, yeah. So in your mock, at the top of this mock is the Storytile summary. What if the summary, like where it says December 31st, 2020 right there, what if it said 1? And when I click on 1, it just takes me down to the actual source text that has the actual place where it's coming from. So I don't know what you think about that, Ryan, or users as well, but like, what do you think about that kind of concept?
Totally. That's a great idea. And just to clarify, it would look like this one right here that we're seeing in the chat. So it would pop up there as a link. You would click that, and then it would go down here like this to the place in the original text.
And like highlighted in blue, which is awesome that it's highlighted. So, Ryan, I don't know how much work it is to build in this like footnoting style or reference style functionality we already have at the higher levels of abstraction. But man, I think that at least I think I've heard a bunch of users say like, I want to be able to really get to the source of truth on that.
I'll talk to Parker about that. We can figure that out.
Okay, that sounds great. Users would love to get your feedback on this. And Ryan, so great to see this mock. Thank you.
Thanks.
Ciao.